I think it was the right decision to sack him. It's just the timing's really bizarre. I mean, obviously we lost last week to Crystal Palace, and I thought that was the writing on the wall. Any decision could have been made on the Sunday or the Monday, and then the new manager would have had over a week training. But if we're led to believe Nuno comes in and takes training today, then the team are off to Everton for Monday. Although it happened last time, Lopetegui took training session and then was sacked that day, with Potter literally having one training session before he took over. So there's an MO to the way we seem to be handling the manager at the moment. But something must have happened in the last couple of days for this to happen, because Potter did the press conference yesterday, seemed reasonably positive, and now to have the whole of his coaching staff all go, particularly as the under 21s were playing at Rush Green yesterday as well. It's the timing is so strange, is so strange. I think so. I mean, he's had probably the longest pre-season that any manager, let alone any West Ham managers had, and it just wasn't clicking. There was something not clicking. There was something not right. I think, to be honest, it was the overhang from the poor appointment of Lopetegui. I think he was actually going into a sinking ship, really, and I just don't think there was the um, the emphasis or the impetus to sort of drag it up from the hills, so to speak. We didn't see enough. We didn't see anything. We didn't see any sort of Potter ball. There was no identity in what we were playing. We were trying to shoehorn a formation into a side which didn't work with that formation, and a reluctance to change, and an over reliance on some of the more senior players. Um, Such as James Ward-Prowse and things like that. I think he'll be worried now with Nuno if he comes in, because he went to Nottingham Forest last season on loan and Nuno never played him. So I think from a fan's perspective, we'd enjoy seeing maybe some of the younger players that we brought in, some of the academy players coming in as well, potentially, and a clean slate. And let's see what happens. But it'll be interesting to see how long the contract is that Nuno has, whether it is just until the end of the season, like we have David Moyes the first time round, or whether it is a long term, because I think then that will dictate the direction the club's going to be going in the next couple of years. We're going to have to see something. We're going to have to see some fight. We're going to have to see some passion, because we've had two sort of London derbies at home, and I think they've been damp squibs, really, from a performance perspective. West Ham fans, it doesn't take a lot to get behind, the team. A bit of effort, a bit of trying, a bit of guile. That's what we want to see. I'm not expecting Nuno's going to come in, if he does come in, of course, and wave a magic wand and all our problems have gone away. But we need to start seeing something, because at the moment we're languishing in the relegation zone. And we need to be getting out of that. I'm sick of looking down the table. I want to start looking on the first page before scrolling down. So introducing some of the academy players, not over relying on the likes of James Ward-Prowse, Thomas Soucek, obviously, but he's still suspended for a couple of games. I think that will get the West Ham fans on board, and winning some games. I mean, if you win some games, it makes life a lot easier, and we haven't won enough. Simple as. Well, I think we seem to be going back to sort of almost like a factory reset, it seems. Um, Nuno is obviously very more pragmatic, very similar to David Moyes was. And obviously we had, in terms of success, there was he was a divisive character as well amongst the fan base. But there was no doubt we had our most successful time in the Premier League, continual success under David Moyes. And I think maybe his pragmatic style suits the types of players we already have in the squad. The fact is, he's not going to be able to buy any players until January at the earliest. And so he has to work with what he's got. And what he's got is a hodgepodge of a squad which has come from about three or four different eras. But there's still a core who still play a very, who, it was almost like, particularly under Lopetegui as well, a lot of the players that were brought in by David Moyes almost had like a hit factory reset when they crossed the pitch at West Ham. And despite the fact of what Lopetegui and what Graham Potter was trying to impose in terms of a new style, it wasn't correlating with what they were doing, wasn't matching up with what they were doing. So actually, I think Nuno, in theory, the current squad does actually match up the style of play that would work best with the players, and playing the players in the right position. Playing Bowen on the right, playing Somerville on the left, Paqueta in the middle. It's quite a simple way. And I think Nuno by what we're led to believe, talking to Wolves fans and Forest fans, was very good at galvanising the club, galvanising a team, and we need that. We need that, and we need that as fan base. We need to relate to something, and even if it's not a style of football which some of the fans might be enthused with, it's a style of football. It's literally a sense of identity which we haven't had for the last 26 games. In all honesty.